Hey guys, it's your girl AFM Stories and you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. Okay, so today I'm going to be doing a video about 10 hilarious things, or maybe not hilarious, or annoying, frustrating things that every master's student studying in the UK can relate to. Like, guys, I'm sure as I'm mentioning these things, you're going to be like so if you're curious about, if you're coming to the UK studying a master's, or you're currently in the UK studying a master's, and you just want someone to banter with about, the experience, then this video is for you. So the first thing is looking for evidence for what you already know. Like, I feel like that has to be the most annoying thing, when you have an assessment and you know that this is the answer, you know that this is the situation, but then you have to search the ends of the earth to find this situation. Like, there was something that happened to me recently where I had to talk about the fact that Davido and Wizkid, it was Davido, he has what's the word now, he's a Nigerian American. I knew that was a fact. I did not need to find evidence, but I now have to go and look for not just evidence but academic evidence that Davido is Nigerian American. Like, I had to be looking for evidence that is worthy of putting an assessment. I could not put Wikipedia or basic just blogs that you can't verify their data, but I had to look for a reputable source of information, like top media corporations or business websites that mentioned that Davido was Nigerian American. I feel like that is just crazy. But anyway, so if you're currently a master's student, you can comment about this. But if you're coming to do your master, be prepared to look for evidence for what you already know, else it's failure. Number 2, reading 5,000 to 10,000 words, or reading 10 to 20 articles only to write one line. Like, you have to read so much to even make a particular point. I feel like that thing even makes you stress, because you have like a 3,000 word paper and the list of bibliography is just a lot, because lecturers judge how much you have, and so you now have to find yourself going to go and read so many things. Even when you've already gotten the answer of what you're looking for, you still need to read plenty things, so that you show that you're a good student. Like, God, that thing is so frustrating. Maybe lecturers hyping you up, like, so when you work on an assessment, you put in all the effort, you put in time and energy, and you're like, yeah, I'm just gonna kill it, I'm gonna do it well, and then you now get your feedback, and then you see this long episode. Lecturer is saying, you did so well in the research, it shows that you've done a lot of work, this is well described, you wrote it so well, and high level of intelligence, high level of critical analysis, great writing, and they just hype you, and then you see 68, 69, 67, 65, 63, and and God help you, now gonna ask them that, what's with the score? Yes, and that's a very good score. Like, there's 100, okay, let's even say 100 is unrealistic, there's 90, fine, let's leave it, there's 80, there's 70, there's even 69. No, 69 is such a bad score. Like, I don't know if I'm weird, but I would rather have 67 or 68 than 69, because I feel like that's torture. Like, it's like lecturers don't realize that it's just one mark. Like, what's the point of having 69, so close to a distinction, and you're still classed as a merit with someone that had a 60? Like, if you think it's good enough for a 69, just add that one score. Like, why do they do that? Like, I can't even relate. Anyways, so yes, get ready for that as well. People hyping you up, talking a lot. There's also something that happened to me recently. I had this presentation, guys. The design was nice. I put in a lot of effort during my presentation, and after my presentation, I got a lot of hype from my lecturers, from my classmates. They were even talking about the fact that they learned new things from what I said. You did so well. Even after the presentation, I even got messages, you did so well, blah blah blah. I feel like if I didn't even get all that hype, I wouldn't have had high expectations for the grades and everything. But when somebody hypes you up so much, you think, that one is sure, Jerry, sure banker. high score. Nothing do one. I can't see. I now saw the result 68. I was like, like what? What was the point of all the hype if that was the score you're going to give me? And then I remember even asking and talking about it, and I got a lot of, oh, it's a very good score and all of that. I don't know if it's a culture thing or a location thing. Obviously, I don't know how it is in the UK, but obviously in Nigeria, if you say something is extremely good, it's A. At least in private schools, I don't know how it is in federal schools, but in private schools, say something is extremely good, it deserves an A, right? A distinction. So why would you say something is extremely good and then give it a B or a C? Like, what is the point? Like, so as in, anyways, I can't even relate to that. But anyways, afterwards, I actually reviewed the work, and I realized, okay, yeah, it needed some improvements, some aspects, but I would have preferred that the improvements and all of those things and the whole point of everything was reflected while I did the presentation. You get, so that I would have had that high expectations, because that thing was frustrating. For ITK students, God, there's one thing I hate about classes with large students, even with small students. There's always that student in class that is just always talking and talking and talking and talking and talking, even when the conversation is not even relevant, or when they don't ask him questions, or when they don't ask him or have for feedback, or when they just always have something to say. Like, it's almost like their assistant lecturer, and the lecturer also enjoys it. So it's almost like is the lecturer and the students, their brother and sister, or sister and sister, or whatever. Because it's frustrating. But anyways, I'm going to cast myself because I have been one of those students. So there's a particular course this semester, developing enterprise. Shout out to Pesty, such an amazing lecturer. I think it was actually one of my favorite courses in second term. Like, it was one of my favorite courses, and in that course I was one of the students. I talked so much that I became like, people thought I was really assistant lecturer. I started getting emails from people, Faith, when is the deadline? When are you supposed to submit the assignment? What are we supposed to do? I'm like, I'm not the lecturer. Because I had talked so much. Like, I remember going out to hang out with my friends, and there was a particular friend of mine that I didn't even know was in the course, and we weren't even friends at that time. It was our first time meeting, but she already knew me because of how vocal I was in that class. So yes, I've been one of those students, so I can understand maybe those students are passionate, but that's just me in one course. There's a particular student in my classes every single morning. This person is always talking and talking and talking. So yeah. Anyways, let's move on from that. Yes, another thing I hate is when you have an assessment to do here, and they give you maybe an article to read or a theory to apply, and you're supposed to criticize it. But then you read it and like, this thing makes sense now. There's nothing to criticize. Like, I've had moments where I read things and I'm like, this is perfect. But I now have to spend hours and days and weeks looking for what to say, because it's postgraduate level and you have to have something to criticize. So I feel like I find that very frustrating, like trying to perfect what is already perfect. Okay, nothing is really perfect, but honestly, I didn't come and be perfecting theory. I came here to learn and build my future and build a business. It's not perfect theory. I'm sorry, but yeah, there are people that enjoy things like that, but I just feel like sometimes it gets really frustrating because you really want to think about the practicality of things and all of that. Yes, another one. So that awkward moment when you're in class and then so basically I've had moments in this entire experience where I have zoned out, literally, like when the lecturer is talking and I really can't be there. I don't know if it's because of the pandemic and the Zoom thing, but there are moments where I'm just not listening. I'm on my phone, or I'm chatting with a friend, or I got distracted or something, and then I just hear my name. Oh, Faith, so what do you think about this? And I'm like, what? What do I think about what? So in those moments, I have many options. Either I quickly scan through the chat box and see whether I can just come up with a generic question, or I act like I'm trying to speak but my network is bad.
See what?
or I just ask a very random, simple, basic question, but like it's one of the most horrible moments. It has happened to me a couple of times. This particular time we had a guest speaker come to speak to us. Okay, that one I was even lucky, but we had a guest speaker come to speak to us and everything, and then I zoned out because the man was talking plenty. And then he said, oh yeah, so we're going to go with questions. So Faith, given everything the man has said, what questions do you have? Guys, I had this 5 minutes pause. You know that my friend saved me. As if she just knew that I was not listening. She quickly sent me questions to ask. If not, that's how I've been embarrassed. So yeah, that random calling student thing is not it. Another thing is also when you have to check out resources for your assessments and everything, and then you now have to read this maybe a 5,000 word or a 10,000 word or 2,000 word article about a topic, and you read the entire thing and you can't find the point. Like you're like, okay, so what was this about? Like you spend hours reading something and you're like, okay, so what's the point? Like I get the point, but then I don't get the point. And I'm going back and forth with I get the point, but I don't get the point. Like I sometimes find some academic articles deliberately trying their best to be difficult, because I don't know, like why can't you just speak simple English and be straight and clear? Why must you stress me with I get it, I don't get it? This is another thing that has happened to me as well. I'm sure it has happened to a lot of people as well. You work on a draft for an assessment and you spend hours on it on a particular day, and when you're like, oh, I did well, you know, it's leads and everything, and then the next day you read this and you're like, you just delete the entire thing because you're like, was I drinking when I wrote it? Was I high? Like what was that? Like well anyways, I feel like that is very, very horrible, honestly. We finally come to the end. I think this one is the MVP. So you get an assessment and then you struggle for weeks and days and months to even write it. Like you're basically crawling. Maybe you write like 10 words in 2 days or one paragraph in 3 days, and you keep struggling. It's looking hard and everything. 24 hours to the deadline, all your brain juices are just working and pumping and coming together, and just, you know, left, right, and then you now have to not sleep. Maybe you drink energy drink the night before and you do fire brigade. You shall get it done. Like I have seen, let me not lie. I hope a lecturer is not watching this. But a lot of assessments I have, as in, for weeks my brain would just be like, what's this about, what's that. Then like 48 hours to the deadline, I would just finally figure it out. I don't know if it's the deadline that is making my brain work or giving me inspiration or motivation, but like that last minute push. But then I found someone that's actually worse than me. So I have this classmate that God, I've never seen someone as last minute as that. Like every time I think I'm the last, he is always further. Like this guy is the person that will submit something is due at 12, 11:59.44. He will submit something is due tomorrow. As at today, he's asking me what's the topic, and guess the worst part, he's not failing. He's doing well. Maybe not extremely. I don't know his grades, but I know that he's not failing. So like, how do you start thinking about the question the day before it's due? Like there was for the assessment we had both a report and a presentation, and this guy started doing them the day it was due or the night before it was due at 12 noon. I was like, and he finished. Guys, he finished. So anyways, yeah, I don't know if it has other things it's doing as well, and obviously myself, I have many things that I'm passionate about. Though I like book, but it's not the kind of book that I'll be reading from the beginning of the semester till the end. So I have to have a lot of interest and passion in whatever it is I'm reading. There are particular courses I've read from the beginning, like I really enjoyed them. Like I was, you know, late. But courses that were really too theoretical, you know, I like contemporary theories that are relevant, but when the theory is too abstract and I can't really see how it applies to my life or the world around me, I literally just zone out, honestly. But the ones that I really enjoy them, and then from the beginning I put my best into them. There was another course as well that was always talking, I think it was global market. That course was so cool. Like Anyways, maybe I'll talk about it in another video, but it really made my experiences really beautiful. Maybe I'll even talk about amazing things about masters, who knows. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, drop a comment, like, subscribe, share to anybody who's coming to the UK or anybody who's a current master student. Let's have a conversation. If you're a current master student, which of this did you relate to? I would like to know. Alright guys, thank you for watching. I remain your girl AFM Stories, and